Bonjour, Véronique, Véro, in Vannes, southern Brittany. Today is market day, and I thought I would take you around and show you what I'm seeing. Another pretty day in early July. It's still early in the morning, about 10 o'clock. There's a little bit of everything at this market. There's food, crafts, clothing, housewares. And of course the surroundings aren't too bad since we are in Vannes Old Town. Within the walls, intramuros, beautiful produce. Look at the garlic. Purple garlic, pink garlic. Somebody's preparing the chicken for the famed rotisserie. Bonjour, monsieur. It's already smelling very nice. And here we reach La Place des Lys, which is a large square in Vannes. It's not my favorite square, but this is where the market is located today. Here you have nougat. Oh, specialties from Quebec. How about that? You can see some people are wearing face masks and some people aren't. Cheese on the side. Hats. So if you go in this direction, all the way down the street, you would reach La Porte Saint-Vincent, one of the major gates, one of a few gates that gave you access to the medieval town way back when. Here is La Halle, Les Halles, the covered market. You have more merchants in there. Many cities have those. This stall here sells honey and everything honey-based, including the famed pain d'épices. And this is a Brittany Market, so you will have sailor shirts, a lot of sailor shirts, marinières and sweaters. Here's a nice peek of La Place des Lys. Nice peek at it. It's still early. I don't see very big crowds. Bags. I think we've left the food section behind, and now we have a lot of crafts. Clothing. It's not the best market I've seen around here. especially when food is concerned. A lot of towns have them several times a week. How about I do this? La Huche à Pain, this pretty store, is a popular boulangerie and cafe where you can have a quick lunch. It's a giant containers. One last peek at Place des Lys. And then I will dive right into the small streets of the medieval town to take you on a stroll with me. I've shown you in other videos the beautiful streets of Vannes, the half timbered homes, beautifully restored. If you haven't seen these videos, you can find them on my YouTube channel under France with Vero. Here is the Chateau Gaillard. I went there the other day. It's the Archaeology Museum. It's also a beautiful hôtel particulier or mansion dating back to the 15th century. Love it at this time of day. It's just so quiet. You can really get a feel for what it was like to live in this town during medieval times. Van and his wife. It's a house that dates back to the 16th century. And here we have an American restaurant. We are on Place Valencia Square. Here's a pretty fountain. More peaceful streets. There's a great architectural mix in Vannes. Not everything dates back to medieval times. It's a lovely city. A little over 50,000 people live here. This has a Parisian feel to it, doesn't it? If you're just joining, my name is Véronique Vero. I am known online as French Girl in Seattle. And since 2011, I have shared my love of Paris, France, and French culture in social media on my blog, FrenchGirlInSeattle.com, with my Facebook community, France with Vero, on Instagram as well. I share information every day on Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to keep your travel dreams alive and stay in touch with La Belle France, don't hesitate to join me. Here's the local cathedral. If you join me on the live streamed walk I did last week, you can find it on YouTube. You heard those bells ring, and it was quite impressive. Cathedral Saint-Pierre, St. Peter's Cathedral. Since I'm heading out in a couple of days, I will treat myself and you to one last little spin around this beautiful town. My favorite square is over here. It's called La Place Henri IV. It's dedicated to a popular French king known as Henry IV. It's coming over there. Here is La Cohue. La Cohue is the old-fashioned name for the market, and today it is a museum, a modern art museum. Very interesting place. You can really admire these houses. Corbelled for most of them. Look how close they are to each other. And here is the pretty square dedicated to Henry IV, where I have spent a lot of time. This restaurant, Café Le Four, number 4, is wonderful. It's always open. I've had breakfast and lunch there, sat there in the afternoon. It's been really good to me. L'Arnicole, a chocolate chain born in Brittany. You can find them all over France now. Let's go back this way. Walking past the cathedral again on the left. Here's a pretty street, the Rue Saint-Guénaël, right next to the cathedral. You have the corbelled homes on top and then shops underneath. Pretty similar to what it used to be in the Middle Ages, I'm sure. I love walking around the city early in the morning when nobody's around and businesses are setting up for the day. You feel like you're part of the scene, even if you're just a tourist or a visitor. If I step up here, you'll get a better view of the street. Let's see. There we go. Le 16, a tea room. Let's head back down, watching our step. Rue de la Bienfaisance, the street of goodwill. There isn't a bad looking street, I have decided, in Vannes. Wish I could go behind that red door to see what's in this courtyard. Apparently it's an art gallery. It's closed for now. Look at the sky. Le Morbihan, where we are. Southern Brittany is well known for its nice weather. Nicer than in the rest of Brittany, in fact. They have more sunny days. My cousins assure me. I've been staying with them here. The Street of Virgins, la Rue des Vierges. So this is a livelier street during the day because you have a lot of shops here. We call this une rue commerçante, a bit of a shopping street right now. Not only is it morning, but it's also Monday morning. And you know that in France, in La Provence, outside Paris, a lot of stores and businesses will still be closed on Mondays, or at least on Monday mornings. I'm pretty certain some of these will be open this afternoon. That big plane tree over there, the platane, is where I started 2 of my live streamed walks, which you can find on YouTube if you'd like to see more of Vannes. But for now, how about we take a walk on the city's old walls, the ramparts. This is one of the places where you can do this. I have taken you up here already in a short video. I'm going to face the sun for a second and then I'll look back. In front of us, outside the walls, is the beautiful church of Saint Paterne. One of my walks took you there, in this lively and young neighborhood. Actually the oldest neighborhood in Vannes, dating back to Roman times, or Gallo-Roman times I should say. So this is what it feels like to walk on the walls and to be within the walls, intramuros. And a pretty sight is right here. My favorite site is here. And this is when you realize that Vannes really is a beautiful city. These gardens came, of course, much later. There were swamps here and nothing, it was really hard. They couldn't build any houses, any buildings here. So ever since the Middle Ages, they've been growing things here. Orchards at first, and then these beautiful French-style gardens that came out in the 18th century. But from here you really get to see the walls. There's a beautiful park across the street from it, which I'm going to explore now. And right here are the gardens behind the Préfecture du Morbihan, which is the seat of the regional government. And back there, as I said, the neighborhood known as Saint-Paterne outside the walls. So voilà, mes amis. I hope you've enjoyed one last walk in Vannes. I've done my best during the stay to show you my favorite parts of this city and share some history as well. I encourage you to visit beautiful Brittany, whether you come here to southern Brittany or go north. Very diverse region, wonderful, wonderful history. I mean, so much to learn. The food, of course, is delicious, especially if you like crepes and galettes. People are quite friendly in my experience. And we're not far from the shore here because the Gulf of Morbihan is next door. So Vannes is very close to the water. Thank you for following me, Véronique Véro, French girl in Seattle. It's been fun sharing Vannes and southern Brittany and this visit with you all. And keeping your travel dreams alive until you can all return to France. À bientôt, mes amis. Bonne journée.